Hi, I'm Jim Simmons, a trainer here at SoftEd, and for today's whiteboard session, we'd like to present to you an overview of a powerful problem-solving tool called a design sprint. We use design sprints here at SoftEd, and we thought it would be good to share with you how that works so that your teams can put a design sprint to work, all right? This video is an overview that will give anyone a basic understanding of what a design sprint is and how it works. We also have a guidebook that you can get that for people who will participate in a design sprint gives them a much clearer understanding of the work that they're going to do during the sprint. In the description for this video, you'll also see recommendations for a couple of excellent books that your facilitator or sprint planner can read to help them facilitate the process. Design sprints are an outgrowth of a process developed at Stanford Design School, the Ideate design company, and Google Ventures. It's essentially a 5-step process for understanding a problem and developing a solution to it. And it's very user-based, user-centric, okay? The key structure in the 5 steps is what I'm going to go through today. I'm going to reference Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, days of the week as a reference point, but a design sprint can be run in a shorter time frame. I've run design sprints in 5 hours, in 2 days, in 7 or 8 days for a big, hairy problem that took us more time to resolve. I'll say days of the week, but we're going to go through the 5 steps, okay? So, here are our 5 steps. Learn and understand, sketch, ideate, refine and decide, prototype, and validate and learn. These are the words that tend to be used by some groups, these by others, but you'll get the idea as we go through this, okay? Before we go through each of the steps, let's cover one thing that's very important. Who participates in a design sprint? Everyone who will be contributing to creating the solution to the problem, because we want everyone understanding the problem as they create and we build it out. We want everyone learning how what we've prototyped is working or not working in the solution. So you're going to have your business people, your technologists, your designers in the room, and you're going to have users in the room from time to time. I'll go over that in more detail as we go on. So, Monday, learn and understand. The business people come in and present to us the background, the challenges, the goals, any relevant data that they've been able to collect that helps us understand more about the problem and what we hope to achieve. We bring in customers and users, and we have interviews with them to understand what drives them, their motivators, their aspirations, their constraints, their perspective. The team members ask probing questions of the business people, of the users, trying to get a deep, deep understanding of what it is we're trying to address in terms of a problem or potential solutions, what people want to achieve with what we're going to create for them. Here's a key thing. No solutionizing, no creativity happens on this day. This is all research, understanding, developing a clear, deep set of perspectives on what we are going to work on during the week. The final thing we do during that day is, with that understanding, we develop a hypothesis of what we hope to develop during the week, a hypothesis that we'll test to see to it if we are solving the problem adequately. Okay, Tuesday, this is our sketch, our ideation, our creativity day. We take all the things that we learned about yesterday and we just spew a million ideas about approaches to what could solve the problem. The key thing here is that this is that classic, there are no bad ideas way of spewing things out. We may lightly critique some of the things that come out, but it's not a day of criticism. This isn't a day where people say, oh, I'm just playing devil's advocate. All the ideas come out. We just brainstorm like crazy. Now, there's the difference between a traditional brainstorming technique and a design sprint sketch day is that we use a little bit more structured techniques in the brainstorming. There's lots of tools and techniques we can use. Crazy eights, 6-ups, 3-12-3, challenge maps, how might we charts, things that I'll go over in more detail in the guidebook, okay? At the end of the day, we don't evaluate what we came up with. We just exhaust ourselves with ideas, and then we go home and sleep on it, all right? Wednesday, this is our day to refine and decide. We come in fresh in the morning, we look at all that crazy stuff we created yesterday, and now we start to analyze, debate the merits, let the cream rise to the top. We might use dot voting techniques to develop consensus, but the way it always seems to work for me is the good stuff rises, the bad stuff goes away all on its own accord. We don't need to be hypercritical. We start to take the things that are working and we blend those together, combine the best ideas into a workable concept for the prototype that we want to build tomorrow. Now, we bring our stakeholders back into the room. We show them the general bones of what we've developed. We get their feedback. We get some prioritization from them about which features probably are going to provide more or less value. And then we create a plan for tomorrow, a plan for the prototype that we intend to build. Thursday, that's the day we build our prototype. Ideally, you build the most polished, high-fidelity prototype that you can, given the constraints, the materials, the talents, the resources that you have available. Paper prototypes, not so much. Make it as good as you can. Be really ambitious, but be realistic about what you can get done in a day. You may not prototype every single feature in the solution you're going to create, but because you've got priorities of which things matter, or you understand which things are the most important to test because of your hypothesis, that will tell you what you're going to build in that prototype. At the end of the day, you create your test plan that you'll use tomorrow. Friday, this is our validate and learn day. We bring those users or customers back in that we talked to on Monday, or it might be a different set of users and customers, and we have them use the prototype or go through the prototype. We apply the questions that we've developed in our test plan so that we learn which things are working and which things are not working the way we had hoped that they would. Now we take a break, we analyze the results, we see what we've got, we bring our stakeholders back in, and we present to them the results of the testing. We're going to have outcomes that show us where we were successful, and we're going to have outcomes that show us where we've got more work to do. Sometimes your prototype will demonstrate an utter failure to achieve the goals that you set out for yourself. It's not common that it's a complete failure, but don't view it as that. We've learned how to approach this problem, how to understand this problem much better as a result of the prototype and the user testing. So that is how a design sprint works. Now, why does it work? Simple. all of the people who develop the solution develop a deep understanding of the problem that we're hoping to solve, and they work together to develop a solution. And most importantly, the concept is user validated by the end of the sprint so that we start the project with confidence that this solution is going to provide value for the business and for the users. So now you know how a design sprint is structured. For more details on how each day works, please get the guidebook from us. Everyone who participates in the sprint should read the guidebook. They'll be really prepared for participating if they do that. And if you are going to plan and facilitate the sprint, please get one of the 2 great books that I'm recommending that you use for that. Planning and facilitation are critical for a design sprint to be run successfully. So, good luck with running design sprints. Let us know if you need some further help with this. We've used them. We think they're really fantastic for moving a project forward with confidence that you are addressing the problem successfully. Thanks.